Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. Today we are going to pray for Indian election expenses and by-election. Estimates that on 2019 general election is having around 60,000 crores. Because of this election expenses, only crore-badis and wealth candidates only can make the contest. This is not good for the democratic country. This election expenses should bear by the government, and the by-election, if any candidates dies or disqualify, the next trailing candidates on contested in this election should get this vacancy. By-election should be removed from India. In the second video, I will explain why do we need elections and types of election and Indian general election, by-election and election expenses. The detailed article I make in the description through link. You can go through that and study. It is around 91 pages. In this part also you can go through that. Why do we need elections? In every democracy, election takes place regularly. India is one of the largest democracies in the world. Elections are the most powerful tool of indirect democracy since they encourage citizens to elect their representatives who then pass laws on their behalf. Elections guarantee that no government is elected for an indefinite period of time and thus become tyrannical. Elections encourage citizens to engage in their country's affairs while still remaining politically active and alert. It forces political parties to act for the people's well-being. Types of elections in India. India has parliamentary system of governance which is based on Britain's Westminster model of constitutional democracy. India's experience with democracy has been relatively successful. As the world's largest democracy whose voter base at large is composed of semi-literate to literate population, India has managed to inspire people to exercise their right to elect every time it goes to poll. India is a vibrant democracy with people electing their representative at several levels beginning from local bodies and panchayats to the parliament. Elections in the Republic of India includes election for members of the parliament in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, members of the state legislative assemblies including legislative assemblies of 3 union territories, Delhi, Puducherry and Jammu and Kashmir. Members of state legislative council, members of local governance bodies, that is municipal bodies and panchayats. By-election is held when a seat holder of the particular constituent dies or resigns or disqualified. 2019 India general election. General election were held in India in several phases from 11th April to 19th May 2019 to elect the members of the 17th Lok Sabha. Votes were counted and the result declared on 23rd May. around 912 million people were eligible to vote, and voter turnout was over 67%, the highest ever, as well as the highest ever participation by women voters. 15 million voters aged 18 to 19 years became eligible to vote for the first time. 468 million eligible voters were males and 432 million were females, and 38,325 identified themselves belonging to third gender. Total 71,735 overseas voters also enrolled. Approximately 2,70,000 paramilitary and 2 million state police personnel provide organizational support and security at various polling booths. Election Commission of India deployed a total 1.74 million voter verified paper audit trail units and 39 lakhs electronic voting machines in 10,35,918 polling stations. The total number of assembly constituencies per segment is 4,125. Average number of polling station per assembly constituencies per assembly segment is 250. The voter verifiable paper audit trail is an independent printer-like system attached with the electronic voting machine that allows the voters to verify that their votes are cast as intended. The first Lok Sabha election in which each EVM was 100% backed by VVPAT and in which physical verification of VVPAT slips has been done, concluded with a full clean chit to the machines. Chief electoral officers across states submitted that there was not a single mismatch reported anywhere, a record that has been maintained since VVPAT were first brought in from 2013 on pilot basis. The current confidence level in EVM and VVPAT accuracy is 99.99%. In places where illiteracy is a factor, illiterate people find EVMs easier than ballot paper system. But the political parties blame the Election Commission as when they win the election, EVMs are good. When they lost the election, EVMs are bad. There are 2,360 political parties registered with the Election Commission of India, and 2,301 or 97.50% of them are unrecognized. Most of them are focus purpose of there is money laundering. Election Commission can't do anything on this. More than 650 parties contested in this election. Most of them were small with regional appeal. India's party system has evolved from a single party system to a regionalized, federalized multi-party system that well represents the social, regional, linguistic and ideological cleavages in India society. The main parties are the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Indian National Congress. This was the first time that BJP contested 437 seats than Congress 421 in Lok Sabha election. Altogether, 839 candidates were in the fray for 542 parliamentary constituencies, that is 14.8 candidates per constituency on an average. About 40% of the candidates fielded by Bharatiya Janata Party had a criminal case against them. Key opposition party Congress was not far behind with 39% of the candidates with criminal charges. No party in India, either national or regional, has inner party democracy. They are all controlled by individual or a family. There are no periodical in party election in Indian parties except in a few like the CBM Marxist. Many of dynastic politicians in India who inherit the leadership position have never held any jobs or lack state or local experience, and this raises concern of rampant nepotism and appointments of their own friends, relatives and cronies if elected. People from non-political families should come into politics on the basis of talent and not on issues such as caste and religion. By-election. When an elected candidate to either the state assembly or Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha leaves the office vacant before their term ends, a by-election is conducted to find a suitable replacement to fill the vacant position. It is often referred to you in India as by-polls, but other reasons occur when the incumbent becomes ineligible to continue in office by criminal conviction or failure to maintain a minimum attendance in the office or due to election irregularities found later or death of sitting MLA or MP. Also, when a candidate has won more than one seat, they have to vacate one. By-election can be crucial when the ruling party has only a small majority. By-election upsets and have a psychological impact by creating a sense of momentum for one party or a sense of impending defeat for a government. If any legislator or parliamentarians dies or disqualified, should make the provision in law that next trailing MLA or MP, those contested in election getting that vacancies. In proportional representation system, electoral most successful unelected candidate named on the vacators list fills the vacancy automatically. This should be adopted in India. Election expenses. Election expenses for political parties and candidates have far outpaced inflation in India. For the 2014 Lok Sabha election, the combined expenditure of candidates and political parties per sheet was rumored to be between Rs 5 crore and 80 crore. The legal spending limit for a Lok Sabha candidate is from 50 lakh to 70 lakh depending on the size of the state. But the 2019 general election in India emerges to be the most expensive election ever anywhere. Several organizations offered varying estimates for the cost of the election campaign. The Center for Media Studies in New Delhi estimated the election campaign could exceed $7 billion. According to the Association of Democratic Reforms, an election watchdog, in the financial year 2017 to 18, BJP received around $57 million, about 12 times more donations than Congress and 5 other national parties combined. The BJP spent over Rs 280 billion or 45% of the Rs 600 billion spent by all political parties during the polls. As of now, a huge chunk of money is used for vote buying and involves law breaking and black money. Muscle power and criminal nexus too are often a prerequisite for electoral success. The major political parties have also used corporate backing to launch an advertisement blitzkrieg. Also, now the government has exempted scrutiny of foreign funding of political parties. Voters have seen candidates winning election and amassing huge amount of personal wealth, clout and assets and using it to stay in power with no benefits to common person. And candidates with criminal background have an upper hand in winning election as they have illicit funds to campaign and to buy votes, and have no hesitation in using physical force and coercion to change voting pattern in their favor. You have to make a policy to stop these illicit practices in India. Amen.